My name is Grace Ho. I'm a physiotherapist and I work at Physiotherapy Center Harbourfront, Singapore. One of the most common injuries that we treat are ankle sprains. Many athletes and dancers come to us with varying degrees of ankle sprains. Now, the foot and ankle are made up of 26 bones and they're attached to the lower limb bones, the tibia and the fibula, by connective tissue bands called ligaments. Ligaments provide stability to a joint. Now, during an ankle sprain, very commonly the ankle would experience an extreme range in inversion or eversion, thereby resulting in a partial tear or a complete rupture of the ligament. Now, this renders the joint unstable. So naturally, when the person gets back to action, they would find that they lack the stability and the proprioception and the strength in their activities. Okay, ankle ligament injuries are one of the most common sports injuries. On the lateral side of the ankle, the most common ligaments that are injured would be the ATFL, PTFL, and the CFL. On the medial side, we have the cluster of ligaments known as the deltoid ligaments collectively. Okay, these ligaments get overstretched with an inversion injury or an eversion injury together with plantar flexion with or without. With an ankle sprain, depending on the severity of the sprain, the ligaments could suffer a grade 1, grade 2 or a grade 3 overstretching, which amounts to a complete rupture. Very often, the ankles will present with instability during walking activities or sporting activities. This could be tested with a heel-toe walk test, otherwise known as a tandem walk test. We will look out for signs of instability of the ankle. Okay, it's a bit wobbly, plus clawing of the toes, with the ankles trying to maintain balance. A standing balance that is static in nature could also be done to check for the ability of the ankle to balance itself. This would be an indication of whether the ankle has good or poor proprioception, which needs to be worked on. A more dynamic test, like crossing a mini hurdle with the unaffected leg while trying to balance on the injured ankle, is also another test to demonstrate how good or how poor the ankle proprioception is. In order to recover well from an ankle sprain, it is very important that strengthening and proprioceptive exercises need to be done, both for the ankle as well as for the core, which Tisha is going to show you in a moment.
Thank you, Grace, for your informative and very useful anatomy and biomechanics of the ankles and the injuries of the sprained ankles. Here, I would like to show you a few exercises that I would like to do with my clients who have already recovered from the sprain, in the sense that there is no swollen, there is no pain, okay, and the physio has already given an okay to say that you can start Pilates exercises. So, like Grace has mentioned, you want to make sure that not only you're working on the strengthening of the muscles surrounding the ankles, you also want to work on create a proper alignment and a good proprioception around the ankles. Okay, I like to use a flex band. One of the exercises is working ankle in sideways, so strengthening when you invert your foot out and invert in, strengthening muscles surrounding the joint of the ankles. Okay, so to begin, I wrap this flex band around ball of the foot that is injured, and I'm gonna hold the flex band with my opposite hands. I ankle my hands down onto the floor, okay, and then from here I will try to turn my foot away from the flex band. So I'm strengthening the tendon here on the outside of the ankles that Grace has highlighted. I like to do this. Make sure that as you move out, you control against the flex band. And on the return, I'm also controlling the return. So I'm not just let it flop back by itself. Okay, you want to make sure that they keep the center of the knee in line with the center of the ankles and in line with second toes. Okay, the movement coming from the ankle joint. I like to do this 8 to 10 repetitions, rest, and then repeat 2 more sets. And I will also do with the knee straight. So this is going to be a little bit harder. You should feel the muscle here on the outside of the shin bone here working. Okay. I also do the other direction as well. Okay, begin with the knees bent. This time you're moving the foot to the other side. So we are now strengthening this side, shortening here and lengthening on the outside as you turn your foot to the right, and then reverse action when you return the ankle or the foot back to center. Same thing, I would do it with my knee straight, 8 to 10 repetitions. Do it mindfully, make sure you do not rush through the process. Okay, once you do that, I also like to do dorsiflexion and plantar flexion of the ankles in sagittal planes. Okay, I hold with my hands or with my one hand, I flex my ankle and then point against it. So now I'm strengthening my calf muscles, my soleus and gastrocnemius as I point my ankles, and then I lengthen the calf muscles as I flex. I do this again. Make sure the alignment is straight, center of the knee, center of the ankle, and center of the second toes. I also add ankle rotation. Okay, make sure that the circles are smooth. You flex, dorsiflex, out, abduct, plantar flex, adduct, and rotate. So you combine the sideway and flexion and extension of the ankles. Okay, 8 to 10 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets. Then you can begin to the next exercise that I will show you standing. So the next exercise that I would like to do with my clients, once they are able to bear weight on the injured ankle, okay, we are going to strengthening the calf muscles. So basically we are going to do calf raises. So initial stage I would do with 2 legs, although you may only injure one side, but I want to make sure that the weights are not too much on one leg. So I will begin to stand. I like to use a wall. Okay, so you can have your hands on the wall, have your legs hip distance apart, and then come up onto your tippy toes. So I would check that my clients have the alignment proper, meaning center of the ankles, center of the toes, in line with sit bones. And then also make sure they engage the core as they go up and down. Okay, so even though you're working to strengthen your calf muscles, but the core is the muscles that help support the whole system of the body. So you want to make sure that you draw your belly button in, engage your pelvic floor, grow tall to crown of your head, use your hip extensor to feel like there's a power coming here, lifting tall through crown of your head. And then as you rise up onto your tippy toes, engage your quads, pull the whole muscles here up like you're wearing tight, pulling it up, okay? And then I might increase a tempo or change the tempo a little bit. Rise up quick and slowly lower down. I go rise up again quick, slowly lower down. So I like to do this 8 to 10 repetitions. Then you might want to change to variations by doing internal rotation. So you want to make sure that you replicate the injuries, right? You strengthen outer side of the ankle and also inner side of the ankles as well. So I will do an internal rotation. I make sure the internal rotation coming from top of the hips. Same principle, rise up, make sure you engage the whole leg muscles, not just relax onto the ankle joints. Everything grow tall, coming from powerhouse, support the whole system, making sure that the weight transfer or the load transfer is efficient. Okay, you come up. This is in ballet term, it's called sickle feet. So it's not very nice, but you still need to do it to strengthen the muscles differently. Change tempo, quick to go up, slowly coming down. Quick to go up and slowly lower down. Then we also need to do in external rotation as well. Okay, so make sure that the external rotation coming from top of the hips. Okay, so it's not 180 degrees, 45 degrees. Engage your butt here, go up and slowly lower down. Go up and slowly lower down. So make sure that as they go up and down, you're not rolling onto the inner side or outer side of the feet. Create a tripod in your feet, okay? Bear weight evenly on the inner side and outer side of the feet. 8 to 10 repetitions, okay? Once you feel like your client has enough strength, they get a proper alignment of the hips, knee and ankle and weight distribution, core is strong, you can begin to start to transfer weight onto one leg. So I like to do slow progression. Go up onto two legs, transfer the weight to one leg and lower down on one leg. Step down. Go up on two legs, transfer the weight, and then lower down. So again, when your clients transfer the weight, make sure they support the whole body with the core. Grow tall here, do not sinking the hips, not collapsing onto the heels, thinking growing tall, and lower down. Okay, so I will do this again in parallel, in turn in, and in turn out position. From there, I can progress even further. I'm going to start on one foot. Then transfer weight to 2 feet and lower down together. Transfer weight to 1 foot. Come up on one leg. Transfer weight to 2 legs and lower down. 8 to 10 repetition. Same principle, same biomechanics. Everything is supported from your core. Go up, transfer, and lower down. So repeat in turn in, and then repeat in turn out position. Okay, so then after a few months, so depends on how fast your client has progressed. Okay, it depends on the healing stage and muscles or tissue healings process as well. Some people might heal faster than the others. So you make sure that you test the capabilities of your clients before you progress. So the next stage, you will just start, go up and down one leg. Up and slowly lower down. Go up, slowly lower down. 8 to 10 repetition. Everything coming from the powerhouse. And I also repeat the same in turn in and in turn out. Then I will progress using blocks, okay? So blocks would give you a very good sense of proprioception because you also have to balance on the block as well. You can repeat the whole process with 2 legs, then start from 2 legs to 1 leg, then start 1 leg to 2 legs, and then the last one 1 leg only. So one way that I would like to work on strengthening calf muscles surrounding your ankles, are using calf raises. Okay, so I like to use blocks. Okay, so I begin to put blocks against the wall, and I have one ball of the foot on the block, and I lower the heels down. From here, have your hands holding onto the ball while the other foot stay on the floor. You still have the weight on your standing leg here on the floor. Okay, then you shift the weights to the weight of the foot on the block, and then start to come up onto the heel, onto ball of the foot. So begins to lower the heel down again and shift your weight back to the standing leg. We shift the weight back to your left leg, raise your heel up. So the height of the heel depends on the stage of your recovery. Okay, if you are in the early stage, you might not want to raise the heels all the way up. Okay, slowly increase the height and slowly increasing the load on that leg. And make sure that as they come up on their tippy toes or raise the heel up, the alignment of the heel, center of the heels and center of the second toes are straight, that are not rolling on the inner side or outer side of the foot. So I like to do this between 8 to 10 repetitions, rest, and repeat 2 more sets. So I hope you enjoyed this clip that I am honored to have Grace as my special guest today. So if you have any questions or feedback or anything you would like to know more, please let me know. Thank you for watching.